Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Bible in 1 Year with the Preacher's Husband. Today we're talking about Psalm 95, 97, 98, and 99. Tomorrow we're going to jump back into 2 Samuel and do chapter 24. We're also going to do 1 Chronicles chapter 21 and 22 and Psalm 30. So a lot of reading for tomorrow. Let's dive into it. 95, Psalm 95. The title in the CSB is Worship and Warning. The title in the King James is A Call to Worship and Obedience. So the only difference here is really worship, warning versus obedience. Right off the bat, verse 1 through 7 are the worship part of this, and then 8 through 11 is the warning part. Come, let us shout joyfully to the Lord, shout triumphantly to the rock of our salvation. That is 95 verse 1. Now, when you get to verses 8 and 9, the do not harden warns against the self-reliance of God's people who followed their own counsel and complained in the wilderness. The names Meribah, which means contention or controversy, and Massah, which means test, were given by Moses to the location where God provided water from a rock. Remember that. After the people tested God. That was in Exodus 17 and in Numbers 20 and Deuteronomy 6. The Lord tested Israel's faithfulness in the wilderness in Deuteronomy 8 and chapter 33. The Hebrew word for tested here describes the refining precious metals by smelting. Remember that? Maybe refined by silver. We'll read more about that in Zechariah chapter 13. We get there. We're going to flip on to 97. Psalm 97. The title here is The Majestic King in the CSB. In the King James Version, the title is A Song of Praise to the Sovereign Lord. Now, what stood out to me is I really liked verse 7 here. It says, All who serve carved images, those who boast in idols will be put to shame. All the gods must worship him. The Hebrew word for worthless gods always refers to the impotence of carved images and pagan idols. All the gods must worship him could be translated, all the gods humble themselves before him, conveying the irony of the psalm. But I will tell you that in verse 7 there, that all the gods has a post note and has a letter B here. It says in the LXX, it reads all his angels as opposed to all his gods. But they're saying that may not be the best translation. All right, we're going to Psalm 98. Psalm 98. The first verse stood out to me just prominently, and I'll tell you why. And it kind of links Psalm 99 together with it. Praise the King was Psalm 98. The title here in CSB. The King James is A Song of Praise to the Lord for his salvation and judgment. Now, verse 1, Sing a new song to the Lord, for he has performed wonders. His right hand and holy arm have won him victory. Have you had a song that reminds you, sing a new song? I love that. The song Holy, Holy, Holy comes to mind. And then the Lord's right hand here, as it says, and his holy arm refer to his immeasurable power in this psalm. Victory implies judgment on the nations and salvation for Israel. Now on to Psalm 99. And what links that song, Holy, 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 links Psalm 99 to Psalm 98. I'm thinking whoever wrote the song Holy, Holy, Holy was probably reading Psalm 98 and 99 when that came to them. It was a very inspiring thing to me. The King is Holy is the title in the CSB for Psalm 99, and Praise to the Lord for his holiness is the title in the King James Version. The first verse reads, The Lord reigns, let the peoples tremble. He is enthroned between cherubim, and let the earth quake. Now, the Ark of the Covenant here is what it's referring to. It was regarded as the throne of the invisible God, or his footstool. Because the Ark of the Covenant was the central symbol of Yahweh's presence with his people Israel, its mysteries remained appropriately veiled within the inner sanctuary of the living God. Now, where this song, Holy, 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 comes in for me is at the end of verse 3, it says, He is holy. At the end of verse 5, it also says, He is holy. And at the end of verse 9, it says, For the Lord our God is holy. So 3 times it says in Psalm 99 that He is holy. Lord God is holy. So, holy, holy, holy. Interesting, huh? Well, that's the connection that I made to this one anyway. Now, the very first verse, though, the Lord reigns, let the peoples tremble. This is where I get back into some history, because this reminds me of Common Sense by Thomas Paine. And I'll tell you why. In early 1776, Americans still hoped for reconciliation with Great Britain, and the British were preparing to take advantage of that sentiment with a very generous offer for peace that many Americans would have welcomed. But then Thomas Paine anonymously published the political pamphlet called Common Sense in January of 1776. And this presented the American colonists with a convincing argument for independence from British rule that resonated with the colonists. In the first year alone, over 500,000 copies were sold, and the revolution caught fire. Now, 500,000 copies doesn't sound like much right now when you're talking about a country with 320 million people in it, but there wasn't that many people in the colonies at that time. Paine structured Common Sense like a sermon, and he relied on biblical references and allusions such as, But where says some is the King of America? I'll tell you, friend, he reigns above. Pulling from Psalm 99, verse 1, the Lord reigns, let the people tremble. So, to make his case to the people, he used this biblical reference. His vision stirred the colonists to strengthen their resolve. By the spring of 1776, there was significant support for American independence, and Virginia's convention voted to instruct their delegates to Congress to propose that the colonies formally declare their independence. On June 7th, Richard Henry Lee moved that Congress declare the United Colonies to be free and independent, resulting in the very first successful anti-colonial action in modern history. And the rest is history. I hope this has touched you. If it has, click the like button and the subscribe button. And of course, click the little jingle bell so you can get notified the next time I upload a video, which will be tomorrow. We'll see you then.